Happy Monday, everybody. It's the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey, here from the REKAP Studios. Happy flipping Monday. Happy June. Here we go. Hope you all had a good weekend. A lot going on. I said this on social. I see the chat's full, which is awesome. Sorry about Miguel Vargas not coming through for the bet of the day 5-0 week we could have had. He had one total base. We were looking for two on Friday. Very lackluster, awful weekend for the Chicago White Sox. So not so much for the Chicago Cubs, who entered June with the best record in run differential in the National League. Whew. By the way, I should not just get into the show because it's all brought to you by our fine partners at Hooters, originalhooters.com, to visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. A graphic update coming from Hooters, a little revamp as we hit the summer here. A new drink of the month unveiled coming up as I get the new reads and programs that we've hit the month of June, but it doesn't mean the Big Daddy mugs aren't a-flowing at your local Hooters. Folks, look at this. Best record, best run differential. And it's almost the best run differential in the entire Major League Baseball. And I know that a lot of you are out there still complaining, but let's get to the chat and see what's up. Oh, Becky's got a doc. Speaking of people who are usually worried, Becky's got a doctor's appointment, so I hope everything goes well. 4 games up on the cards, Beck. That's what I'm saying. Take a deep breath. The rearview mirror is there for a reason, to see who's behind you. Cubs don't have anybody in front of them. No one. Landon, so far the Sox have avoided the double-digit losing streak. Looking at the schedule in June, very difficult to find our next win, let alone 5-10. They played much better in May. They have a 4-game series with the Detroit Tigers. Doesn't do us so well. Breck Bear, happy Monday. Speaking of teams with long losing streaks, how about this for the Colorado Rockies, who now sit at 9-50, which is the worst of all time? They are going to, I think, throttle the record that the White Sox set just a year ago. 9-50, 4 8-game losing streaks. They've been swept 10 times in 20 series. That's unheard of, folks. Regardless of how bad you are, that is, I mean, you're talking about here 9-50. It was on pace for 27. Okay. So now we do the quick math, and the Rockies are on pace for 24 points. So we'll give them 25 wins. The Rockies are on pace for 16 fewer wins than the Chicago White Sox last year. Thomas, question of the day. If we had to pick one between Kyle Tucker and PCA, which one would we rather have if it was only for this year? This is a great question. I think people like PCA, like they like rooting for him more because he's just quote unquote more fun, et cetera, et cetera. If it's up to me, I'm taking Kyle Tucker. Now, you're all entitled to whoever you want, but let's look at their numbers. Both have played 59 games. 65 hits for Pete Crow Armstrong, 64 hits for Kyle Tucker, 46 runs for PCA, 44 for Tucker, 14 doubles PCA, 10 for Tucker, 4 triples for Tucker, 3 for PCA, 15 homers for PCA, 12 homers for Tucker, 51 RBI. See where I'm going here? 40 walks for Kyle Tucker, 11 walks for PCA. Looking at the on-base percentage, 394 for Tuck, 313 for PCA. But let's be honest, both of these players are fantastic. PCA under team control through 2030. I know he is, but what if he wasn't? Who do we want and need more for this year? I don't know if you need more for either. I think you just need to continue to get what you're getting from them. I do like the almost 90-point on-base percentage better for Kyle Tucker. Good afternoon to Eric. A nice series win by the Cubs. Now we have a tough 9-game road trip ahead of us. Let's come out with a winning record. That's all I've ever asked. Try to go 5-4 on this next road trip. I know some of you guys think higher, but look at this. You go at the Nationals, the Tigers, who are here in Chicago for the next 4 days, then go home and get the Cubs. That should be a fantastic series this weekend. Then you go at the Phillies, who are right there with you in terms of better records. But you look at the rest of the month, you get the Pirates, the Brewers, the Mariners, the Cardinals, the Astros. A lot of division games coming up. That 4-game series is going to be fun against the Cardinals at the end of the month. I'm going OKC in 7 to win the NBA championship, says Eric. I think I'll probably go 6. I still just think they're the overall best team. not just on paper, remaining, obviously, there's only 2 teams left, but of the 4 teams that were left, I thought they're far and away the better team. I'd like it. I wouldn't hate if Indiana found a way, but I feel like it's okay. See, I'm with my guy Al here. I go with Kyle Tucker due to the experience. Literally, no one wants to see you. Where's Cap? Hey, AE, appreciate you being here. Okay. Literally, no one wants to see you. You know what my invitation to you is? Then get the hell out of here. We don't care. There's plenty of people here who come every single day. You want Cap? Cap's part of this channel. It's the recap, right? Appreciate you, AE. Keep the comments flowing. We love you. Jim, hello. Hoping all had a nice weekend. Appreciate that. Hey, AE, do you even know where you are? Be careful, AE. Be careful. You come in here spouting, man, and people will be ready. Dude, it's just I appreciate the comments, though. Keep them coming. It's a love relationship in this room. Kyle, the Cubs are a very good team. Happy Monday, by the way. Just need some tweaks with their starting pitching and bullpen. We'll wait for Godfather to lay the under. The luxury tax smackdown. Go Cubs. The real Phil Simms. A 5-1 homestand. Very good. Distance yourself from the division now. That's what June's about. You got a lot of teams in your division that you're playing. You just took care of the Reds. Like I mentioned, the schedule, you got a lot of the other division teams coming up here after this road trip. Wayne, I hope nobody complains that the Cubs are winning too many games. I know Wayne's my guy because I know we sit here in painful Whites. I'm sitting here going, like, the White Sox got swept by the Orioles. The Orioles are awful. Just a really bad weekend for the White Sox. Not that I'm expecting them to go on some, but not to get one win in Baltimore, I think, very disappointing. Lip, this show makes Mondays better. Thank you, Guff. Appreciate you. Lip, Brewers are on a hot streak. Becky, is that you getting worried again? Come on, Becky. Come on, Becky. Brewers are hot. They've won 7 straight. They're 5.5 back. That's what happens when you TCB. Take care of business. Pin zone. Went to the last 2 Cubs games. It's been good wins against bad teams. We need to start pitching for sure for the playoff run. So I do my weekly, daily check-in for all of you saying that the Atlanta Braves are not in sell mode. They are currently now in 4th place in their own division. 4th place in their own division. They're 9.5 back. They're still 5.5 back of the wild card. These are the teams that have a better record than the Braves just in the National League. Okay? Just in the National League. The Diamondbacks, Giants, Padres, Dodgers. The Reds, Brewers, Cardinals, Cubs. Nationals, Phillies, Mets. You know how many teams have a worse record than the Braves? 3. I'm telling you. Chris Sale. That's the guy I would be all in for. Pablo, hoping a strong week of dubs with each bet of the day. So let's see those Aviators a lot this week. I benched them for the day, Pablo. Didn't get the win on Friday. No big deal. We get, a 7 game over 500 in May. We'll take that all day long. What are the odds on the Rockies not winning a series this season? I would love to know that. This is, by the way, they get the Marlins. Breck, do you love that I know that the Rocks have the Marlins right now this week? This would be a series you're thinking, okay, if there was ever one that they're going to win. For the Rockies it's not even series based anymore. It's like, can they win a game? I don't know, Breck. I don't know. You're the best, Guff. Love the recap lunch hour with Guff. Appreciate you, Pablo. AE, where you at, man? A lot of chirping. Phil, Stanley Cup final starts on Wednesday. Oilers in 7. Phil, you've been consistent with the Oilers, with the Conn Smythe, etc. I love that about Phil. He's been saying it for not just this week. He's been on this since the start of the playoffs. Jim, amazing that Colorado will have 60-plus losses by the All-Star break. Hey, Jim, they might have him by Father's Day at this point. That's what's amazing. The All-Star break, you better think about, like, they probably will have 75 to 80 losses by the All-Star break. That's a fact. That's what they're on pace for. I mean, that's unbelievable. Terry, if the Broncos go undefeated, they might win more games than the Rockies this year. Hey, Super Bears, Super Bowl, Super Broncos, Super Bowl. I like it. Let's go all orange for the Super Bowl, orange and blue. Wait, I don't get it. Pro teams breaking losing records. Maybe teams should be taken away from owners that don't give a damn. I'm not a big soccer guy, and I know that might piss some people off. A football, whatever. I like American football. I don't mind. I have plenty of soccer friends, plenty of friends that played the game. But one thing I love about soccer is promotion and like you get relegated or relegated, promoted. I think that'd be awesome. Could you imagine if the White Sox were in AAA this year and then the Rockies replaced them because the White Sox won more? Like, that would be awesome. I would be all in for that type of promotion or kick down to AAA. You don't want to win up here? Fine. We don't got room for you. Dustin, it's my favorite time of the day, the lunch hour with Guff. Jonathan Long continues to mash the ball in AAA. Is now up to a 344, 419, 980 slash line with 9 bombs, 41 ribbies. Is it time to give him a shot to platoon with Bush or just have another bench bat? I would say this. It's not all, I mean, they haven't been great offensively lately, okay? But Michael Bush has an 852 OPS. Like, he's not the problem. Quite frankly, I see where you're going. Like, at some point, you earn your spot. It's a good problem to have, Dustin. I think before long, Jonathan Long will be up here. And whether he's starting or coming off the bench, I think that would be a really good thing for the Cubs to keep adding boppers. Al says the Sox have been playing okay, no hitting, but they have lost so many games by 1 run. Hopefully, with a little luck, some of these games could be wins. Also need hits. They have 0 bullpen, Al, especially at the back end. They were much better in May. I saw something I wanted to read. Like this surprised me in some ways, and at the same way, against the run line, okay? Against the run line. So 99% of the times the White Sox are getting plus 1.5, which tells you they're in a lot of one-run games because the White Sox are the 3rd best team in baseball against the spread. That blew my mind. They are 33-26 against the spread this year. So basically what that means is if they're getting plus 1.5 every game, they're covering that more times than not. So to your point, Al, they are playing just because they're getting great starting pitching. Their starting pitching has been absolutely fantastic for a team that has 18 wins in almost 60 games. And just to put that in perspective, I will tell you what their team ERA is just from their starting staff. It is Chicago White Sox. Now they're middle of the pack, but for a team that's lost a ton of games, 383 ERA from your starters. That's pretty damn good. To put that in perspective, the Cubs have a 4.02. So all of you out there saying that the Cubs don't need a starter, they have a 4.02 starters ERA. Kyle, rewatched your documentary, 5 outs over the weekend. Wow, Kyle. Dude, tell me where you got that, man. Where'd you find it? Did you get a DVD copy? So much better than the Counterpoint Cubs documentary, Catching Hell. This doc took me off the blame Bartman train. Thanks, Guff. Side note, forgot Cap was clean shaven at one point. Take that. Thank you, Kyle. The entire goal of that documentary was to take the blame off of Bartman and tell you that there needed to be some damn accountability with that team. As fun as they were and as good as they were, that team, they were scapegoated by a fan that should have never got all of that flack, in my opinion. That was part of the reasoning of doing that doc. I appreciate you going back and looking at that. That's awesome. Al, so hopefully no long losing streaks. And I think that they're equipped to not have long losing streaks because of their pitching. Becky all in on OKC. Wouldn't surprise Phil if the Cubs went 6-3 on the road trip. Josh, what's going on with you? If Terry says if the Broncos go undefeated, or that's what Breck says, Jim, seems to me there's rapidly becoming a big disparity in professional sports that reaches across all leagues, the haves and the have-nots. I'd say the wants and the want-nots almost. You got to almost try to 9-50 tells me you're not competing. Obviously, that's not breaking news with the record. But you're fielding a quadruple A team out there in the big leagues. Unexcusable. Inexcusable. Dustin, coming at AE as well. Coming from the person with a black box as his picture. Apparently no one wants to see you either. I said, AE, you better be careful, man. A lot of AE shots coming up, I see. Who is Godfather? He's coming up. Godfather, I see him in the chat here, KO. Just stand tight. Josh says Godfather's still going to find a way to complain about the winning the Cubs have been playing. Josh is letting KO know he's a sports fan that's very upset about the Cubs. Hey, by the way, with all due respect to Godfather, he's been a fan for 51 years. Give the guy some credit. Here he is. I know everyone's in a good mood, but I went back to the future on Sunday, the year 2029, and neither Tucker or PCA was on the Cubs because of the budget. The media finally calling Ricketts cheap, though. Hi, Godfather. Good to have you back, my friend. You know what else is good? It's good to just talk about Hooters on a day like this. Any day you can get it in. The tender tacos, which, by the way, I was actually looking before the show what the closest Hooters location was to the office to see if there was a way to sneak over and get some of those cinnamon pretzel bites. I don't know if Katie's had them, and I figured it might be a nice treat for the office, but probably should have picked some up on the way up here because we're going to need some lunch after this. The mango habanero sauce, the Big Daddy mugs. I'm not sure. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Big Daddy mug full of Dos Equis, full of Summer Shandy, full of Blue Moon. There's a new drink of the month, which is $8 every day, all day through the month of June. Of course, if you don't want the drink of the month, just get those $6 cocktails every day. $6 cocktails. Terry says, AE, I'd be salty too if I didn't own a consonant. That's why I said, man, be careful. Dustin, 2 Cubs prospects to watch in the coming months. Will Sanders, who made his AAA debut this weekend, and flame-throwing Jackson Wiggins, who's dominating Double-A since his promotion. Wiggins could be a bullpen option down the stretch. Kyle Halliburton did it again, said it before and say it again. Good call, AK, on passing on him for your grand slam pick in P-Will. Pacers probably don't win, but still shows the garbage decisions the Bulls made compared to their division counterparts. Tommy, can someone please explain why everyone's so in love with Ohtani? Tommy, is that please tell me that's not a joke. All right, please tell me that's a joke, I should say. That's 100% a joke because the guy is the best player we've ever seen. That's just a fact. One last time from Wayne. Guff, I don't like this guy. Can we give Robert away for free? Wayne, I've asked at this point, is he untradeable? Because I could make an argument he is. Do you know that Luis Robert Jr. was the sixth worst offensive player in the month of June or May? The 6th worst in all of baseball. Are you serious? Speaking of uncompetitive, that guy looks like he doesn't give a crap a lot of times. I know you never like to question the will of a player or the want, but come on, man. Some of those at-bats are uncompetitive. Jimmy's saying the Cubs should kick the tires on Mitch Keller. Robert doesn't have a player option. It's 2 team options, Jimmy. So whoever trades for him, if they even do at this point, the team could just basically declare you a free agent after the year. I believe that's why no one wants to trade for him. That would be actually a reason you'd want to trade for him because you have control over the player. But it's also a good reason to say, see what you get from him and cut bait. I appreciate you, Pinzone. AE, go out for a run, Goofy. I think he's left. Hockey's my number 1 sport. First time in many years disappointed on the playoffs. I agree. CPO, what's up, Guff? Just heard Padres have interest in trading for Jarren Duran. That dude's a stud. The Padres, look, you could say haves and the have-nots, but I think it's the wants and the want-nots. I really do. Who are owners that care and want to go out there and bust their ass and try to get the final prize, which is hoisting that trophy? I'm just happy the Cubs find their closer in Palencia. He has been a dude. I don't think I will say this. I think the Cubs are still going to go out and land a back-end dude at the end to support him down the stretch. Guff, can we start a new Cubs chant that goes like this? MVPCA. Isn't it catchy? Guff is legend. Appreciate you, King. I like it. What's up, Eli? Just came out of a holiday. Man, there's a lot of holidays over there in Jerusalem. It was Jerusalem Day last week. What do we got today? Eli, help me out. Since Tariq Skubal is pitching on Thursday, Cubs should take 2 of 3. Easy there, Wayne. I said the Cubs have the best record in the National League. The Detroit Tigers have the best record in all of baseball. And they're going on the road. Love you, Wayne. Every time you say Hooters, I jump up and say where. Oh, Wayne, oh, you're awesome. YouTube is a beautiful thing, my friend. Found it there. Nice. Thomas, stating the obvious, the Sox have good pitching. I don't even think it's bad offense. I think it's pathetic offense. Charles, the Cubs need to promote Johnny Longball sooner than later. That's two of you in the chat. How does Frank Ragnow retiring from NFL change the Lions? Yeah, how about the Lions now losing their starting center as we get to mandatory minicamp week. That's big news. I'm guessing the Lions were tipped off at this, but if they weren't, now the Bears went out and signed Drew Dahlman to be their center of the future. This is after the draft. It's less than ideal timing. I think it changes the Lions because their offensive line is so damn good. This guy started 16 games a year ago. He missed one, I think, with a tear, played through it. It's a big deal. I'm sure the Lions, though, build from within. They build inside out, and they are one of the best teams. They have the Philadelphia Eagles model, so it works. Tigers have good defense, though. It will be a tough stretch. Hope Tucker comes back soon. Shota does well in Arizona, so he can get back to pitching. Ben Brown finally woke up and started pitching. By the way, Drew Pomeranz opening for him over the weekend on Saturday, and then he went out and just flat out dealt 9 strikeouts. Maybe that's the way. The White Sox have done it with a few of their young pitchers. Maybe getting a opener for Ben Brown is the way to go. Slack, where's that doc available? I think we'd all love to watch. Thanks, Slack. You're the best. Let me find. I miss Clyde today too. No one's got a spelling error today. Robert Jr. not worth a pack of big league chew or basically a batting practice balls at this point. The only way Robert Jr. is traded would be for a team to send a player in cash to the Sox for Robert. Who would do that though? He's going to be DFA'd by the end of the season. We'll be out of baseball by 27. Wow, Dustin. He won't be DFA'd. They just won't pick up his option. Lip Ripper going with a big baseball parlay. North Carolina, Ole Miss, USC, Southern Miss, all money lines parlayed at 10-1. Lip, I played your college baseball plays on Friday. We split them 1-1. I think Louisville covered, and I don't believe Alabama lost outright. 3 full houses over the weekend. Ricketts happy and still under the luxury tax. Eric, Matt Shaw's been an absolute monster at third defensively this season. The Cubs aren't trading for a third baseman. They got it. Shiva, I got you, Eli. You're my guy, man. Happy holiday to you. The way the Cubs and beat you is why they are my best team in the league. I think the way the Cubs can beat you. Mike's saying the Lions are taking a big step back. I think they have 7 true road games this year, not all the dome games that they had a year ago. Should be interesting. They're not going to be 15-2 that they were a year ago. Based on Rockies' current win rate of 174, their estimated win rate for a 3-game series is 8%, and for 4 games is 1.8. It's easier to roll a 6 than the Rocks winning again. Good. Look at those numbers. 4-5 road trip for the Cubs. 2 out of 3 against Washington, 1 out of 3 against the Tigers and Philly, says Thomas, which, by the way, wouldn't be a bad thing. It'd be fine. It'd be holding serve, basically. Vandy and Texas were eliminated over the weekend in college baseball. First time since 99. Both the 1 and 2 were eliminated in the NCAA tournament before the Super Regional. Yeah, crazy. Very crazy. Louisville covered Bama shit the bed. It happens. Pablo, search 5 Outs on YouTube. You'll find it. It's a great watch. I appreciate that, Kyle. Speaking of which, it's time for all the bet of the day. All right. So we lost. We went off the heater on Friday, and today we have no basketball. We have no Stanley Cup. All right. We have no Aviators. I'm going back to baseball. I'm going back to that 2+ bases, which I know could turn a lot of you off, especially when you look at the team I'm going with. However, let me say this. Take a look at the steal market. Remember we went with OG Anunoby the other day? I was all over Tyrese Halliburton on Saturday, his steals at two or more at plus 120. He had 3. I had a parlay together with Cap. I had Anunoby again. He had another 2. The plus money steal market, I'm going to take a deep dive of this as we hit into the NBA Finals and see if there's not some places that we can live there. Speaking of places to live, look at that, by the way. Anytime we're going to go 4-1 and 7 games over 500 in a month, I'll take it. Mike Talkman of the Chicago White Sox, a guy who's likely to be dealt. The Palatine hero, the Palatine pounder, as they call him. Okay? This dude's been on an absolute bender. 17 total bases his last 4 games. Okay? 17 total bases. All right? Here's what he's done lately. 2 for 3, 2 for 5, 1 for 4. It was a double. 3 for 4, double and an RBI. How about this the other day? Yesterday, 2 for 4, a triple and a homer. Okay, that's at Baltimore. That includes going back to the Mets. This guy has been on a bender since he's returned off of the IL. He's a one-WAR player for the White Sox. He has an on-base percentage of 481, an OPS plus of 220. He's got 16 hits this year, 4 for doubles. He's got a triple. 7 of his 16 are for extra bases. With that value you're giving me, he's 1 for 3 career off of Jack Flaherty of the Tigers. Lefty-righty matchup. I'm in on it. I'm in on Mike Talk. I will ride the hot hand until no longer. Mike, those Brewers, Guff, you knew they'd be coming. Of course, they're a great organization. No Cubs, no NHL, no NBA. Time to cheer on the alma mater and the reigning champs, Tennessee, says our guy, Joe Johnson. I like Talkman with the Cubs, actually. I like the White Sox signing him. I think it made a lot of sense, and he's likely going to be dealt because somebody's going to want a winning player like that in the second half of their season. I know this sounds petty, says Jim. I'm glad the Knicks are gone from the NBA postseason. I know this sounds crazy, Jim. I was actually rooting for the Knicks, which is hard to believe. Hard to believe, but I love Tibbs. Lip, let's rock and roll. Plus 160 value on a guy that's been absolutely crushing it lately on the total bases. I'm in. Let's go. I think that number should be more like plus 125. So anytime I see a number that I feel like seems inflated, seems like a time to pounce. Search 5 Outs McGuffey on YouTube. Should be the first video. Thank you. I want to know who put that juicy thing out there. I'm going to have to go back and look. It'd be nice to see Talkman back with the Cubs. Paul, I could see a scenario where the Cubs line him up and knock him down, bring him back, still lives in the area. A big reason he signed with the Cubs or with the White Sox was to stay here. He's got a young child. 2+ bases, plus 160. Let's get hot again and ride this puppy all the way into another winning week as we flip the calendar. That's the last time we'll have May's record up as we now go to June and start counting what we did in June here on the Bet of the Day, which will be out on social later today. Really good stuff. Appreciate you, AE. No one wants to see or hear from your ass either. How about that? In and out of the chat. And I got my people with me behind me. Appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. Warm weather is finally here. Let's get after it. Take care of yourselves. Kate, take care of each other. Kyle throwing one last post at 5 Outs CSN way before NBC Sports Chicago took over the reins. This has been the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey. For everybody here at the Recap, have an awesome day. It's brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. Have a great day. Order.hooters.com if you want to pick up. We'll see you tomorrow.